This has got to be the craziest news I've heard in a long, long time. This video is going to be in 3 parts. 1, the first part is going to blow your mind. 2, the second part is going to be like the recent UFO sightings. And then 3, something that, because of this first part, I went down the rabbit hole and I saw something. I was like, what? Okay, I've got to tell you about this. The police in the United States of America, baby, come on, have been given out UFO handbooks, guidebooks. Police across US give a new UFO handbook as they warn craft pose significant safety risk. But you can't make this up, right? I thought when I heard about this, when I saw the TikTok video, okay, and I was like, no way. So I googled it, and mate, there's so many articles about it. I've got a couple here, right? I've got Microsoft Start, they've covered it. Metro, they've covered it. Mail Online, right? The Daily Mail, they're covering it. I've just picked those 3 that I'm just gonna show you. This is absolutely incredible. I asked ChatGPT something, right? I said, what is the most recent UFO story that people are talking about? The US government recently added over 350 new UFO sightings to its records. Of these, more than half were identified as balloons, drones, or other ordinary objects, but 171 of them remain unexplained, demonstrating unusual flight and characteristics or performance capabilities. This is that again. Demonstrating unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities. And I'm going to show you some videos in a second about what they mean. I think you know what they mean, but I'm going to show you anyway, right? Because we like watching UFO videos. So, let's go back to this here. Imagine going to work as a 5-year-old police officer, man, right? And you're putting your boots on, right? You got your fucking taser and your gun. And they say, okay, here's your UFO handbook as well. Police across the US have published the first guide on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, the new name for UFOs. I don't know why they changed that. Which details such encounters and how these incidents should be reported. The report, which is 11 pages long, warns officers of the significant safety risk to law enforcement air support units. The unidentified flying objects pose and urge them to be vigilant when traveling in helicopters. The document has been created by police executive as it's in the interest of law enforcement to be aware of trends and reporting on UAP due to the unknown threat they may pose. I'm guessing that you've seen many UFO videos. If you follow this channel, if you subscribe to this channel, you'll see loads of them, okay? Has there ever been a UFO video that you've seen or you've seen on this channel that seems to pose a threat on the human race? As in, I don't know, it's shooting people, it's abducting people, it's, you know, doing something bad towards this planet or us as people, right? I've not seen any. And in fact, some of the stories I've heard on the internet about people interacting with ET, some of them are actually quite nice. Now, obviously, some people are traumatized by them saying that they've been abducted and things like that. However, they're back. They're not scarred. They're not like they're just telling. They're telling the story. Now, I'm not trying to defend if there are any ET, if there are any aliens. I'm not trying to defend them saying, oh, they're lovely, because a lot of people think that aliens are demons, right? I personally don't think so. And I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying, Ben, read the Bible, it'll say it in the Bible. But I don't personally think so. What's this? This is the reference guide, is it? Is this reference guide? UAP in the news, law enforcement. Spy balloons, drones, and advanced UAP pose a clear and present danger. Underwater UFOs display capability that jeopardizes US Maritime Security, ex-Navy officer says. Last month, Indian aerospace engineer S. Somanath said that there are definitely aliens out there in the universe. And that, mate, I'm telling you, this links on to the end of the video, so just bear with me. Right, listen to this. This is crazy. An officer in Blairsville, Georgia, claims to have seen green lights in the sky when patrolling in November 2023. And this is what he says, right? I'm a police officer and deputy sheriff. While on duty after dark near the top of the windshield frame of view, I witnessed movement in the sky, southbound direction of view. The officer said in their report. Upon concentrating my focus, viewing through the low light, I was able to make out a triangle craft with 3 dim green lights per side, just bright enough to assess size, shape, and movement. He then lost sight of the craft as it went behind the trees, and because he was inside his vehicle, he couldn't hear anything. That sounds like the TR-3B. So I'm just thinking to myself, this guidebook has come off of the back of police talking about things like that. But if the TR-3B is a man-made US government craft, wouldn't they just shrug it off? I am privy to what helicopters and airplanes look like in the sky, frequently working alongside medical flight crews in the area and where nearby airports are, making me somewhat familiar with common areas of the sky, which low air travel is common. This was unlike anything I've ever witnessed, he continued. The officer then responded to a call from a resident who had heard something running outside of his home, which did not sound like an animal, in the same direction the unidentified objects was traveling in. The new UAP guide will be very handy for law enforcement officers. Author of Captured by Aliens, A History and Analysis of American Abduction Claims, Nigel Watson told the Mail online. What? That just reminds me of the bloody Las Vegas family who saw these aliens in their backyard. I would understand if the handbook is there to help you document what you're seeing. You know, what it looked like, what it sounded like, where it was going, how high it was, how low it was it showing any threat or anything like that, and they can document that, write it all down. But they've got a handbook to do that, right? Surely if you saw something crazy in the sky, you're just going to note it down anyway. As a police officer, you would note it down, and you've got your chest cam and things like that, you know? Is this not actually something to help the police, but is it more of a message to the world, right? Is it just another move on the chess piece towards Project Bluebeam? Without knowing what's in that guide, I can't really follow up on that, because what is it? Is it pictures to say, if you see this, do X, Y, and Z? If you see that, don't worry about it, it's one of ours. If you see, like, what's in this guide? We need to know what's in this guide. In that handbook, and it's 11 pages, is it going to have like that picture in it and saying, if you see anything like this, mate, it's not one of ours, and run, or let us know? I would love to see this handbook, mate. I would love to see this handbook. If you're a 5-0, right? If you're the Popo and you've got access to this handbook, email it to me, mate, and I make a video on it. It'd be epic. See, the thing is, every single day, more and more information, more and more documentation, more and more audio. I'm going to show you some audio now, right? Or make you listen to some audio. This is crazy. But what I'm saying is more and more evidence is coming forward to show you that there's potential alien UFO, alien technology, right? Look at this. Listen to this, mate. This is, I saw this on Twitter, right? Go follow me on Twitter, Caspersight. Yeah, look, listen to this.
Houston on 2, I've got a question about Starliner.
Houston's with you, Butch. Go ahead.
There's a strange noise coming through the speaker, and I didn't know if you could connect into the Starliner and let me keep mic and let you hear it. I don't know what's making it, but I don't know if it's something that maybe is connected between here and there, making that happen. But anyway, can you do that?
We can configure that, Butch. Give us a minute, and I'll call you back when it's ready.
Okay.
Station Houston on 2, we're configured for audio via hardline and CST. If you want to give us a call.
Listen to this.
I'm in Starliner, and how do you read?
5x5, how many?
Sam. Okay, I'm gonna keep the mic up next to the speaker.
Copy.
Wait.
Hear that?
At negative, Butch, we did not hear anything.
That.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads and see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go.
Listen.
All right, over to you. Tell us if you figure it out.
Yep, good recording. Thanks, Butch. We will pass it on to the team and let you know what we find. And Butch, just to make sure I'm on the same page, this is emanating from the speaker in Starliner. You don't notice anything else, any other noises, any other weird configs in there? Okay, thank you.
Right. It could be nothing, but it could be something. But I sort of understand when people are seeing things like this in Brazil.
Brand new UFO sighting.
Look at this state.
Check out what these witnesses caught on video in
Ibiza
on July 28th, 2024. They seem to see the UFO and are quickly able to start recording before it vanishes at a very high rate of speed. The object looks to have a slightly translucent glow surrounding it. Was this some sort of interdimensional light being? Or some sort of plasma energy craft? Watch the video and let me know what you think.
Look at the state of this. Boom. Let's see that again.
Being or some sort of plasma energy craft? Watch the video and let me know what you think.
Mate, that's slow-mo. If anybody says to me, oh, Ben, yeah, that's man-made, it's a pilot in there. A pilot in that, mate? What? Like, their eyeballs would be in the back of their heads if they went at that speed. They would just be mush. And then you got this, mate, in Las Vegas. Now, I have not got the foggiest idea what this is. This looks so, like, I've seen a few videos of it now. It looks like something from Star Trek. It looks so out there. It's like, what the hell? Who the hell has put this? It doesn't look like an alien UFO. It doesn't look. It looks like somebody's made this and flying it around with Las Vegas. I've got to be honest with you. But what do you think of this? And I think, isn't there another video out there where it just it U-turns up into the sky and rockets up in an instant? Look, that's Star Trek, the USS Enterprise. That's gotta be somebody's made that, right? Nobody. Look at the size of it. Listen to it. Is that the sound of it? No, it's not. In Las Vegas. The thing is, mate, Las Vegas, they're going to do some crazy stuff over there, aren't they? For publicity and all that sort of stuff, you know. It's the world of entertainment in Las Vegas. It wouldn't surprise me if some millionaire made that and just for a laugh, right? You got this one as well in the UK. What's going on here, mate, with the moon? What is that? Look, there's the end, there's the top.
That's weird.
What is that?
Can you film it too?
I can't, it doesn't get any detail.
That's weird.
I think it's the night of the blood moon.
Move it though.
It is, it's going from left to right.
That we had.
Yeah, but to be that long?
Does it?
That's what she said.
It's exceptionally weird. Someone else... There's got to be some balloons.
Yeah, but it's like so
Any ideas? What about this one? UFO. Avistasto in Genova. Watch this, mate. Watch this. Give it a chance, because it's right near the end. It's not a plane. Well, that's a plane. But wait. And it's not that as well. Watch. From here, boom, across. Here we go. Oh. Ready? Ready? Bang! What was that? Bang! It's not a bird, mate. I'm telling you, it's not. Don't put on the comments as a bird. I'll try and pause it. That ain't a bird. That ain't a bird, mate. That is not a bird. A supersonic. Look at this one in Poland. 80% speed. This is why the police have been given handbooks, mate. Well, actually, for what? Goes back to my original question. What for? Yeah, you've got a handbook, you've got a guidebook, but what? Right, you've seen that. What? Let's just say you've seen that. You're a police officer in the United States of America, baby. Come on! Right? You go, okay, I've just seen that. F. That's what it is. Okay. How's that going to protect us against a national threat? Like, I don't get it. I don't get what the handbook's about. Look at this one in Miami, Florida, mate. Place that I'm going to go to one day.
Extraños sucesos en los cielos de la región meridional de los Estados Unidos cuando objetos voladores no identificados.
This reminds me of the silver morphing UFO thing with spikes on it in that, right? It's a lot of people saying it's a balloon. It ain't a bloody balloon. It's not a balloon, mate. And someone said it's a tent. It's not a tent either. Look. This reminds me of that.
Ver a simple vista mientras realizan movimientos que no concuerdan con la tecnología actual conocida. Fue el caso de un objeto estacionario recientemente que se mantenía por debajo de una nubosidad variable en la ciudad de Miami, en el sureste del estado de Florida, la tarde del sábado 20 de julio del año 2024.
Yo, can somebody explain to me what the hell is that?
Look at the size of it, right? Okay, here's your perspective. That's a building, right? Just to help you out there. Look at the state of this. Look at the state of this, how big this thing is. That ain't a tent.
What is that, yo?
And it's not a balloon.
That thing is not moving.
Is it a blimp? I don't think it's a blimp. It's too high to be a blimp, isn't it? Blimps are going to be around about this level.
Flying saucer.
De acuerdo con las imágenes, el objeto aparenta tener una formación tipo rombo o deltoide, mientras se mantiene suspendido en los cielos de una localidad de la ciudad turística de Miami. En una segunda captura, el objeto fue visto surcando los cielos lentamente, mientras algunos testigos mencionan de la presencia de una avioneta merodeando cerca del acontecimiento. ¿Qué te parece? Somos UFO 5537. Te contamos sobre sucesos ufólogos a nivel universal y en habla hispana. Síguenos para más contenido. Gracias por tu atención.
No problem, mate. No problem. This one here, mate. This next one, it just changes shape. Talking about changing shape, mate. Look at this one. Now, I don't know, again, mate, if these are real, if these are fake, but I'm telling you, looks pretty darn legit. Watch this thing go from a sphere to a bloody whatever, right? Look at this. Watch. Did you see that? What? Is that even real? How did it lose track of it? Right, here's the last one in the UK, mate. Now, someone said in comments, it's a balloon, mate. Come on now, this ain't a balloon. Look at this.
What is that?
I don't know. I know what you think it is. It's a flare. It ain't a flare. CGI. I don't think it's CGI. A balloon. It's not a balloon. What? That? Someone says ball lightning? Yes, a balloon with a laughter. Like, that cements the fact that it's a balloon. It's not a balloon. He says, bright balloon. Then I stumbled across this, right? This is where my mind was like, oh my god. Former NASA employee shares what she saw. This stuff here, mate, this is on the edge. Now listen to this.
I had a secret clearance. I was able to go into restricted areas, which this was. And I walked into a photo lab, which was the NASA lab across the hallway. At the time, I was talking to one of the techs in there, and he drew my attention to a photograph, a NASA photograph. And this was an aerial photograph of the Earth, I'm assuming the Earth, because it had pine trees on it, and the shadows of the craft, or whatever it was, were in the same angle as the trees. And by its very nature, UFO, and I wanted to clarify that to a gentleman that was talking to me, means unidentified. So I did not know what this was. But I realized at this point that it's very secret, that it was kept secret, because I asked him, what are you going to do with this piece of information? And he said, we always airbrush these out before we sell them to the public.
Listen to that again, mate, because I'm going to show you something in a minute. Listen to that again.
And he said, we always airbrush these out before. We always airbrush these out. And he said, we always airbrush these. He said, we always airbrush these out before we sell them to the public. After that, I decided I would ask questions to other people. A guard told me that he was asked to burn some photographs and not to look at them. And there was a guard, another guard guarding him, who was in green fatigues, watching him burn the photographs. And he said he was too tempted. He looked at one, and it was a picture of a UFO. And he was very descriptive. I can go into that later with anyone. He immediately was hit in the head, and he had a big gash in his forehead. He was knocked out, and he was terrified. So he would have to be protected. So I do want to let you know that I worked out there for a number of years, and I ran into this. So it's not something everyone knows that works out there for a long time. My boss didn't know about it. Some people that sat right next to me didn't know about it. It's very strange, because I don't know how they can do it, but they can let some people know about it and then others not. I'm willing to testify before Congress that what I'm saying is true, and thank you very much.
All right, so I was like, whoa, bloody hell, mate. Bloody hell, that's hardcore. Is that real? Is that like a real thing? And then I come across this article here, mate. Listen to this. This is on Wired. Now I'll save this link and I'll put it in the description if you want to read the whole thing, because I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to get to this part here, which I thought was quite interesting. The UFO hacker tells what he found. Right? The search for proof of existence of UFOs landed Gary McKinnon in a world of trouble after allegedly hacking into NASA websites, right? Where he says he found images of what looked like extraterrestrial spaceships. The 40-year-old Brighton faces extradition to the United States from his North London home if convicted, right? Listen to this. The search for proof of the existence of UFOs landed Gary McKinnon in a world of trouble after allegedly hacking into NASA's websites, where he says he found images of what looked like extraterrestrial spaceships. So this is the interview that the Wired did with McKinnon, right? Listen to this. This is crazy. So Wired News asked this question. What was your motive or inspiration for carrying out your computer hacking? Was it the War Games movie? And Gary says, this is a bit of a red herring. I've seen it, but I wasn't inspired by it. My main inspiration was the Hacker's Handbook by Hugo Cornwell. The first edition that I read was too full of information. It had to be banned, and it was reissued without the sensitive stuff in it. Wide News says, without this book, would you have been able to do it? McNillan says, I would have done it anyway because I used the internet to get useful information. The book was just a Kickstarter for me. Hacking for me was just a means to an end. This is where it gets really interesting. Wired News. Did you find anything in your search for evidence of UFOs? McNillan. Certainly did. There is a Disclosure Project. This is a book with 400 testimonials from everyone from air traffic officers to those responsible for launching nuclear missiles. Very credible witnesses. They talk about reverse engineering technology taken from captured and destroyed alien craft. Wide News. Like the Roswell incident, McNillan. I assume that was the first, and I assume that there have been others. These relied upon people have given solid evidence. McNillan. A NASA photographic expert said that there was a Building 8 at Johnson Center where they regularly airbrushed out images of UFOs from high-resolution satellite imaging. I logged onto NASA and was able to access this department. They had huge high-resolution images stored in their pictures files. They had filtered and unfiltered, or processed and unprocessed files. He there is backing up what that woman said that I've just shown you. I'm going to link that in the description. You can go and check it out yourself, but it's cool. Anyway, mate, the US police getting UFO handbooks, guidebooks, maximum footage, weird stuff going on about NASA, all right? Mate, if you want to keep up with the news with the UFOs, the aliens, the ETs, or if you're into like a fun laughter approach to the ghosty roasties, the paranormal, subscribe also, because that's also what I do, right? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.